One of the great things about India is this tremendous interest in education. People talk about it all the time. Most parents aspire for this for their children. And so I think it's a great foundation we have as a country. In my experience growing up here, I think there's a lot of emphasis on, spending time on the books and, learning things academically. I think education needs to evolve and change just like with everything else. I think, working in the real world, I would say, it is important to be well-rounded. It's important to, try different things, take some risks. I would encourage people to, follow their passions a little bit more. All the great things about the Indian educational system, I think there's a lot of pressure to follow set lanes throughout your career. You're in high school, you're thinking about college. I get surprised people start preparing for IIT in their 8th grades, and that's a bit shocking to me. I hope, as people are approaching things, they are really taking the time to doing things, understanding things deeper, learning by doing things, and I think it's important to remember it's a long road. Setbacks actually don't matter. I think a lot of times when I was younger, people would say, this person didn't get into this college or something, and that's the end of the road. I mean, life is so different from that. Keep your hopes, keep your dreams, and try to follow them. And I think most of how life plays out is up to you, not up to what happens outside of you. And I think it's important to keep that in mind and take the long-term view. Look, it's remarkable to be at IIT. There are many, many great people who don't make it in, and you will see this later in life. People do well from all walks of life. I think it's important to remember getting into an elite institution doesn't guarantee success. It matters a lot, but it doesn't guarantee success. And I think it's important to keep that perspective in life. And life is a long road, and so you want to take it at the right pace and enjoy what you're doing. I get very surprised. People come to IITs and immediately they are thinking about IIMs and so on. I think it's important to get real world experience. And if you take no competition, others aren't working on that difficult a problem. And even if you fail, you end up doing something great in the process. And so I think that's the philosophy which has guided us all through these years. In Silicon Valley, part of the reason so many people start up a company is, starting up a company and even having failed, you can wear it like a badge of honor, right? And I think that's important. Culturally, risk is rewarded. So it's a culture of optimism, it's a culture of risk-taking, and I think that's really important. So
this is such an important issue for our company, but also for our country and for a community of entrepreneurs around the world. At Google, entrepreneurship is in our DNA. Google was founded here at Stanford, and the company's first home was in a garage just a couple miles from here. Like many of you in the audience, our founders were two young people with a vision of a better future, a better way, and they decided to follow their dreams.
When I see entrepreneurs here, they seem no different to me than the kind of people I meet in the Valley. So intrinsically, I think India can do the same kinds of things. And the one good thing about India is I think, there's always been, whenever in India I used to walk around and go to some remote corner and find a tea stall, I always felt there is an entrepreneur there somewhere who saw that opportunity. So I think that streak has always existed. I think part of the problem is in India, the potential is there and the market is developing. I think it'll take a few more years for it to fully realize the potential. And so I'm absolutely confident of it. I think there's a timing issue, but I think we are growing well as a country. I think we need to stay at it, continue doing all these things, and it'll take a few more years and we'll get there.